overhear when someone didn't know you understood their language? My coworker Ryan had no idea I spoke fluent Spanish. I'm half Mexican but look completely white with blonde hair and blue eyes, so people never assume. My mom made sure I was bilingual growing up, but I rarely mention it at work. Ryan was the golden boy at our marketing firm. Tall, charming, Harvard MBA, always landed the biggest clients. Everyone loved him, including our boss, Mr. Peterson. Including me, if I'm being honest. I'd had a crush on him for months. We'd been partnered on this massive campaign for a luxury car brand, easily our biggest client. The contract was worth $2 million. Ryan suggested we work late together, just the two of us, to really nail the presentation. I was thrilled. For 3 weeks, we stayed until midnight crafting the perfect pitch. I handled all the creative work, the market research, the strategy breakdowns. Ryan focused on big picture stuff and client relations. He'd always compliment my ideas, saying things like, "You're brilliant, Bella. This campaign is going to make both our careers." I felt like we were becoming a real team, maybe something more. The night before our presentation, I realized I'd forgotten my flash drive with the final graphics. I drove back to the office around 9 p.m. The building was dark, except for our floor. Walking toward my cubicle, I heard Ryan's voice coming from the conference room. He was on a video call, speaking rapid Spanish. I almost kept walking, but then I heard my name. I stopped dead in my tracks. Ryan was talking to 3 men in suits on the screen. In perfect Spanish, he was walking them through our entire campaign. Every slide, every strategy point, every piece of creative work I'd spent weeks developing. The car launch timing, the target demographics, the social media strategy. It's all here, he said, holding up our presentation folder. One of the men asked about the timeline. Ryan laughed and replied, "Don't worry, the white girl has no clue what's happening. She's doing all the work while I'm getting paid by both sides. Peterson thinks I'm a genius." My hands started shaking. He was selling our pitch to our competitor, the rival agency that had been trying to steal this client for months. But Ryan wasn't done destroying me. "You should see how naive she is," he continued in Spanish. "She actually thinks I'm interested in her romantically. Makes her work twice as hard trying to impress me. I just smile and compliment her pathetic little ideas, and she hands me everything on a silver platter." The men on the call laughed. Ryan grinned and added, "La gringa estúpida will probably get fired when we lose the client tomorrow. But that's not my problem, the stupid white girl." That's what I was to him. I quietly pulled out my phone and started recording through the glass door. Got every word, every document he showed them, every detail of his betrayal. My heart was pounding so loud I was sure he'd hear it. 20 minutes later, the call ended and Ryan started packing up. I ran to the stairwell and hid until I heard the elevator close. I sat in my car in the parking garage and cried, not just because of the betrayal, but because I'd been so blind. Every late night, every compliment, every lingering look, it had all been manipulation. The next morning, Ryan strutted into the office like he owned the place. Designer suit, perfect hair, that $1 million smile. He brought me coffee and a croissant from my favorite bakery. "Ready to crush this presentation, partner?" He winked. I wanted to throw the coffee in his face, but I played along. The presentation was scheduled for 2 p.m. in the main conference room. Our entire executive team would be there, plus the client's marketing director and CEO. Ryan had been bragging all week about how this was going to be his breakout moment. At 1:45, we set up in the conference room. Ryan kept squeezing my shoulder and whispering about how nervous he was, how much this meant to him. The performance was Oscar-worthy. The executives filed in. Mr. Peterson made introductions. The client's CEO, a stern woman named Mrs. Delgado, sat at the head of the table with her arms crossed. Ryan started the presentation with his usual charm. 5 minutes in, he was hitting his stride, taking credit for our innovative approach and months of strategic thinking. That's when I stood up. "Before we continue," I announced, "there's something everyone needs to hear." I connected my phone to the conference room speakers and played the recording. Ryan's voice filled the room, crystal clear, speaking in Spanish about selling our campaign to the competition. The room went dead silent. Ryan's face went from confident to confused to absolutely horrified as his own words condemned him. Mrs. Delgado's eyes widened. She understood every word. When the recording ended, I looked directly at Ryan and said in perfect Spanish, "Did you really think you were the only bilingual person in this room, Ryan?" Security escorted him out within the hour. Mr. Peterson was furious, not just about the betrayal, but about the potential lawsuit. Ryan was fired, banned from the building, and our legal team was already preparing charges for corporate espionage. Mrs. Delgado was so impressed with how I handled the situation that she insisted I lead the campaign personally. The contract went through, I got Ryan's promotion, and my salary doubled. 3 months later, I heard Ryan was working at a small firm in Ohio, making half what he used to earn.